Hi, it's another Friday and you're welcome to the Premier League Preview Show on Citi TV. My name is Nathan Kwao. This is the show that helps you enjoy a Premier League weekend. Of course, the games are live on Citi 97.3 FM. So this show and our coverage of the Premier League on radio go together. You can send in your thoughts and comments on the number on your screen, the WhatsApp number on your screen. Send in your thoughts and you can tell us anything, everything, sharing your thoughts, comments, and opinions on the show. It's another exciting Premier League weekend. I know the AFCON is taking everybody's attention, but the Premier League is still happening, and there are games to be played across the whole of England this weekend. So that's why this show is here. We'll talk about all the games. I will zone in on three very important games. We'll do our debate later on, and then we'll do some bits and bobs before the show ends in about an hour. Many thanks for joining us. We'll take a very quick break. When we come back, I have something really special for you out there. So stick and stay. This is the Premier League Preview Show on Citi TV. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. This is the Premier League Preview Show on Citi TV. My name is Nathan Kwao once again. I promised you something really exciting to start off the show, and I'm delivering that promise right now. Now, typically, I'd introduce my guests, fellow journalists, pundits. Today, I've got two very special guests in the studio. They've flown all the way from North London to join us. They are in town to spread the good news of the red side of North London. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce Robbie Lyle of AFTV. Hi, Robbie, how are you doing?
No, I'm good. It's great to be in Ghana.
Wonderful. And Cecil, how are you doing?
Very well, thank you. I'm happy to be here and looking forward to getting into this weekend's fixtures.
All right. So for those who follow a lot of content on social and YouTube and are Arsenal fans, you're very familiar with these two gentlemen, and we have them in the flesh right here. Guys, thank you so much and welcome to Ghana.
No, listen, it's been amazing since we've been here, so the pleasure's all ours.
I see. What brings you here? I mean, you could be in North London doing AFTV business supporting Arsenal, but you're a million miles away from home. What exactly brings you to Ghana?
Well, we're here to watch the game against West Ham with fellow Arsenal fans here in Ghana. So we're doing a watch party, and what we're trying to do with AFTV is go around the world and really connect with Arsenal fans. So, we wanted to come to Africa, and we've come to Ghana, the home of Thomas Partey, of course. Yes. So looking forward to that big watch party that we're going to be doing. And we'll still be doing all our normal stuff back in England. We've still got our guys going to the game and stuff like that. We're still going to be covering all of that. But we're doing a special, really shedding a spotlight on the Ghanaian Arsenal fans.
The Ghanaian Ghana.
The Ghanaian Gunners, yes.
So what have you guys been up to? When did you arrive? What have you been doing since then and now?
We flew out on Monday, we arrived on Tuesday. We had an amazing welcome as we arrived with dancers. And honestly, it blew my mind. I couldn't believe it. The Ghanaians know how to one, party and two, welcome people. So we had an amazing welcome party, and honestly, it'll stay with me forever. Then we went to Cape Coast as well the following day after that, and that was quite an eye-opening tour that we had around there and learning about our history and the black people's history and all of that. And it was very, very, very interesting. And then we met this anti-king yesterday, which was incredible, absolutely incredible, very powerful.
I see, wonderful. Robbie, tell me, a lot of football fans like myself have seen you guys work throughout the years. Where did the idea of starting or going social to talk about all things Arsenal, where did that idea come from, and how has the evolution been for you?
Okay, well, I've been a lifelong Arsenal fan, and I just wanted to sort of create a platform where any fan, no matter who you are, could have your chance to have a say on the football club, but in video, So that's basically, it was a really basic idea I had, and I just said to myself, I'd had it for a little while, the idea, but I hadn't really executed it. I didn't really know nothing about social media and videos and stuff like that. But then after a while, I said, no, this is the time. We've got to do this. And then we just started, it was literally started off with two people. It was me, I used to have a camera person, and we just used to go to every Arsenal game and interview fans. And it's just been a journey along the way, Now we've got studios in London. We've got about 25 people working, because we also got another platform, DR Sports as well, which is like all football. And it's just been an incredible journey, going to different countries, going around the country in the UK, following Arsenal, So it's been amazing. It's been amazing.
So when did you join the team?
I joined 3 years ago. It's actually coming up to 4 years quite soon as well. And yeah, I joined it, and Robbie is the leader of the channel and is very inspiring of what he's created. And yeah, the connection we have between the fans and Arsenal has grown so much since being at the channel, and that was my goal when I first joined, was to give as many fans a voice. We kind of disrupted, well, Robbie initially disrupted mainstream media when it came to that, and now it continues, and they're watching a lot of what the channel does, and you see that in today's main media. So 3 years ago I started, and it's been history ever since. I've loved every minute and every day, especially being now we're here in Ghana. I mean, come a long way. It's been amazing.
I see. Robbie, how's your average day like? How is a day in the life of you in relation to AFTV? How is it like on the average?
The average day is a very busy day.
Okay.
You know, typically I wake up. Well, first of all, you've got your family matters to deal with, like school runs and things like that. But then after that, you know, I live just outside London now, so I travel in to the studio, and then between filming loads and loads of content all day long across the 2 channels, have to attend loads of meetings and meetings galore. We have a lot of meetings where we discuss content ideas and stuff like that. And then we watch lots of football. You know what I mean? That's it. We watch lots of football. But yeah, like every day is different, but every day there's a lot to do. It's like a very, very busy time. Being here has been nice to not have to be interacting with my phone every minute.
Okay.
So that has been, I've enjoyed that. Yeah, I've enjoyed that, you know. But yeah, it's a very busy, but I love it. I mean, I enjoy my job. I enjoy what I do, so there's no complaints.
Especially in the transfer windows with Robbie. He has to do transfer daily,
Transfer
and so he's up
daily.
early in the morning.
Those can be busy times.
Stories for Arsenal signing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I see. I mean, let's focus a bit on Arsenal. It's been a very, I won't say strange, but it's been a very interesting season for Arsenal. It started really well. Then Arsenal hit a bit of a slow patch, and then it started picking up again after the win against Liverpool.
Yeah.
Now we're in the new year. The season, you can almost see the finish line, and you see the fixtures that are ahead of you. When you think of Arsenal, how far can this team go? And can they actually get over the hump and get their hands on the Premier League title?
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult to win the title because of the 2 teams you're up against, with Liverpool and Manchester City. Both of them have won titles in recent times. Both of them very experienced managers. But I think Arsenal got a chance. I really do. I think we had a bit of a rough patch around Christmas. You know, that defeat. You know, we were both at those games. To West Ham, who we're playing this week, of course, and also to Fulham, especially the Fulham one. They were real shocks to the system because Arsenal were kind of playing okay before then. But after Christmas now, we had that little break, and Arsenal have come back and they've been flying. You know, I mean, we beat Crystal Palace 5-0. You know, I mean, we went away to Nottingham Forest, which is not an easy game. I know to a lot of people watching this, they may think, oh yeah, you're supposed to win that. But the last 3 occasions we played them at their place, they've beaten us. And, you know, Cecil will testify, we always go there. It's not an easy...
And last season's game almost kind of condemned us.
That condemned us, and it's a very hostile atmosphere when you go there. And I thought Arsenal were very comfortable that night. The 2-1 flattered them a bit because they kind of got that goal in the 89th minute. And then, of course, we had the Liverpool game where there was a lot of people writing Arsenal off. Before that game, I couldn't understand why, because we drew with Liverpool at Anfield. We played them in the FA Cup. I thought Liverpool were very lucky that day to get that win. We missed so many chances. And we were very dominant against Liverpool last week. So the momentum is pushing us back up in an upward trajectory. I think, you know, it's a long way to go still. I do still worry, can we have another one of them Fulham results in us? You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm still a bit traumatised.
Go away from home and...
But kind of I definitely think Arsenal have a chance. We've got a very good side.
Yeah. Okay.
And if we can get some players back, I mean, if we could get Thomas Partey fit, you know, he could be a key player for us. If you got Partey, Rice in that midfield, you never know. But we're in it. We've got, you know, if we'd have lost to Liverpool, I think we're out. We would have been done. But beating Liverpool, now we're within 2 points of them, I think we're back in the title race.
Cecil, your thoughts on Arsenal's away trip this weekend? I guess when you think about West Ham, you go back to that loss at the Emirates, which was quite strange. I watched that game, and I couldn't believe what I was watching. Yeah. How West Ham walked away with 2 goals and 3 points. How can Arsenal get back on track? How can they get 1 over West Ham? And how can they get 3 points on the day?
Well, it's a great question. I think they'll be traumatised from the defeat, obviously, at the Emirates. Also, we went away in the Cup and we lost them as well. So they'll be thinking about that. But I think this is a bit of a different Arsenal that West Ham are facing in the sense of since we come back from Dubai, the warm weather training, the team seem re-infused. We've got players returning to full fitness as well. Tommy Yasu, I'm hearing, as well, might be available. I think that will give us the edge because Mohamed Kudus, I know there's going to be many fans watching that, that obviously they're going to be supporting him, but Tommy Yasu is a very good defender, and if he's up against, it'll be a very good battle for them two up against each other. I think that will give us the edge, and our players seem to be finding form. Like the Liverpool game, which we spoke about earlier, we dominated Liverpool in that game. I think people forget that we scored every goal, including the goal they scored. It was off us, and we completely controlled that game. And I know this is away at West Ham, at the London Stadium, which has been a bit of a bogey place for us. But I feel like the team know that, and they know how important these 3 points are, especially for this title charge. That I think Arsenal fans are now starting to re-believe that it's possible that we can win the title.
All right. As we wrap it up, Robbie, you mentioned Thomas Partey. For a lot of Ghanaians who watch the Premier League, they're very excited to see one of our own playing at the highest level, the very highest level. Generally, what are the thoughts of Arsenal fans in relation to Thomas Partey, and how concerned are they that he's not been able to put together an extended run in the team?
Yeah, there's a lot of frustration because, we all know how good he is. We all know that this guy, if he's playing for our team, gives us great chances of winning games because last season he was one of our best, probably apart from Saka, our best player. Yeah. But I think he's played 3 games this season. He's literally been injured the whole season. So there's a lot of frustration. It's like Wendy, the other couple of weeks ago he was coming back and then he suffered a setback, and no player wants to be injured, but there's a lot of frustration around whether we're going to see the real Thomas Partey between now and the end of the season. If we can get him back and get him back firing, massive. It'd be absolutely huge for us because everybody acknowledges he's one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. He's an excellent player, he really is, and he's really missed.
I see, especially as you have to go to Old Trafford, you have to go to the Etihad at a point. It will be important. Just finally, you have a watch party this weekend, right?
Yes.
You're watching West Ham Arsenal. Where is it happening and how will things play out?
Well, it's at the Legon Mall.
Yeah, Legon City Mall, yeah.
Yeah, Legon City Mall.
12 million.
Yeah, starts at 12. There's 3 games. So there's the Arsenal versus West Ham game, Manchester United Villa, and then, of course, later on the big AFCON game, which I'm excited to see that final, Nigeria, Ivory Coast. And basically it's a free event, fans can come along, get to meet us, we want to meet them as well. We're going to make loads of content from there as well, which will be up on our channels. So yeah, really looking forward to watching the game with Ghanaian Arsenal fans and Ghanaian football fans in general, you know what I mean? Because I really do feel football is one of those things that really brings people together like nothing else in this world. It really does, you know what I mean? Because you can be at a game and you're sat next to, you don't even know who you're sat next to, right? But one thing you don't know their background, you don't know anything about that person, but the one thing you do know is you're both supporting the same team, and it's a wonderful thing. So being here in Ghana, to be able to connect with Ghanaian Arsenal fans and Ghanaian football fans is going to be incredible, and we're really looking forward to that event.
Can you guys give us a prediction? West Ham Arsenal. West Ham Arsenal.
Make us jinx it on TV. I believe Arsenal will win, of course. I think it will be, though, quite a close game because we spoke about on this show that West Ham going away is quite a difficult place to go for Arsenal. So I'm going to go 2-1. 2-1. I think we'll concede, but I think Arsenal will be able to have enough to beat West Ham.
Yeah, I think we'll concede, but I think we're going to win 3-1. I think when they beat us at the Emirates, we had so many chances. It was frustrating. Even last year when they drew with us in that game, we were 2-0 up.
Yeah, Arsenal were 2 up. Saka misses a penalty.
We could have made 3-1. Saka, we was at the game. Remember, we were watching the game at first. Like, this is easy.
Yeah, we're so comfortable.
But that's the thing about the Premier League; it's never easy, right? So they'll be, they'll be confident going into the game, and of course,
and they'll be pumped. I mean, they lost at Old Trafford.
Yeah, and it's the Declan Rice factor. So, like, all of a sudden, every time we play West Ham, they're really up for the game because their fans seem, I don't know why, but they seem annoyed at Declan Rice for coming to Arsenal. and they should accept that he went to a bigger club. You know what I mean? But so now all of a sudden that game's got a lot of fire to it. But I think the confidence of winning last week, the confidence this week come back. I'm going to go 3-1 to Arsenal.
3-1 Arsenal. 3-1. You say 2-1. Bottom line, Arsenal wins.
Yes. What do you think the score's going to be?
I think Arsenal to win 2-1. Yeah. I go 2-1.
Okay.
2-1.
I go 2-1.
And Arsenal win. This is good.
We'll see. Guys, thank you so much, Robbie.
Thank you very much for having us.
Cecil, thank you so much. And there you have it, Robbie Lau, Cecil, both of AFTV. They'll be at the Legon Mall over the weekend on Sunday. So go out there, join them. It's a whole day serving of football. There's West Ham Arsenal, there's Villa Man United, and there's the AFCON final. Who are you guys tipping? The AFCON final?
I have to go for Ivory Coast. It's just like their name's written on it. They've defied all logic to get to the final.
They've lived their enchanted life.
Yeah.
Ivory Coast.
I see. So you're tipping Ivory Coast as well?
Yes, Ivory Coast as well.
Okay, all right. We'll see how all of that plays out. So like I said, Legon City Mall, that's where Robbie and Cecil and the rest of the gang from AFTV. And if you're a football fan, doesn't matter which team or club you support, just go out there, meet them, have fun, take pictures, and have a wonderful Sunday of great football. We'll take a very quick break. When we come back, I'll bring my other guests and then we talk about the other games, Villa Man United, and then we'll talk about Manchester City versus Everton. This is the Premier League Preview Show on Citi TV. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. This is the Premier League Preview Show on Citi TV. My name is Nathan Kwao. You can send in your thoughts and comments on the WhatsApp number on your screen. We'd love to hear from you. Let me introduce my regular guests. They haven't flown from, they are still here in Ghana with us. Yahweh J. Minter and Emmanuel Budano. Guys, how are we doing?
I'm doing well.
Yeah, I know it feels a little, strange. Not strange, but yeah. We had external guests.
So you have to welcome the guests.
We'll have to do that. All right, let's have a look at the fixtures for this weekend. There you have them. Manchester City versus Everton. Fulham versus Bournemouth, Liverpool, Burnley, Luton and Sheffield. And then you've got Tottenham Hotspur versus Brighton, Wolves versus Brentford, Nottingham Forest versus Newcastle. And then you've got West Ham versus Arsenal, Aston Villa versus Manchester United. And then Monday night is Crystal Palace versus Chelsea in a London derby. It's South London versus West London at Selhurst Park on Monday night. All right, guys, let me get their thoughts on the first of our two games. Let's start off with Manchester City and Everton. I remember this game a few weeks ago. Yeah. Everton, I think they took the lead. Man City struggled. They came back and ultimately won that particular encounter. They do it again at the Etihad. Now with Arsenal traveling to West Ham and Liverpool playing their own home game against Burnley, they are likely to win. Yeah. I guess it's very important, for Manchester City to get something out of this game and put pressure on Arsenal because anything can happen in that game. So I'm sure City would want to take care of their own business. Yeah,
for sure. They have to win as many games as possible because they have an outstanding game. And knowing very well that a win in that outstanding game puts them at the summit of the league. Getting wins help their cause. And I don't think Man City is bothered about Arsenal. I think Man City is looking at Liverpool and not Arsenal because I have this feeling that for Man City, it's just Liverpool. I don't think Pep Guardiola is bothered about Arsenal, is bothered about Arteta and what he does. I think he's bothered about the effects of the Jurgen Klopp's impending departure and what it does to Liverpool. Even before Jurgen Klopp's departure announcement, it was clear that for me, it was a straight battle between him or Liverpool and Manchester City. Pep Guardiola's
but Arsenal are not out of it.
They are not out of it, but honestly, I feel they are out of it because I see them beating Man City in the upcoming game. I don't see it. Arsenal also have to play against teams like Aston Villa and Man United. You never know how those games will turn out because those are two wildly inconsistent teams. You never know the Man United team that will show up. You never know the Aston Villa team that will show up. And so for me, Man City, they'll be looking at what happens in that Liverpool-Burnley game, and they will know that for sure, like you said. Liverpool is bound to beat Burnley because Burnley.
Unless strange things happen.
Yeah, unless strange things. The football gods just go crazy and decide to turn things upside down. Liverpool is going to beat Burnley because it just fits the way they defend high up the pitch. They don't have enough quality to finish off the chances they create. That's Burnley I'm referring to. And so you look at Liverpool, all of those things play into Liverpool's odds of winning. But for Man City, they also have their version of a Burnley in the sense that, yes, Everton, they are a very difficult team to break down than Burnley. But at the end of the day, look at the overwhelming quality that Man City have. They should be able to beat Everton and maintain their pace to win a fourth Premier League title in a row. So for me, the Arsenal, Man City bit, Liverpool bit, I think it's just a straightforward battle between Man City and Liverpool. But they will keep an eye out for what happens in that Arsenal game because they will know that once Arsenal drop more points, then it just decreases the attention that they have to pay to Arsenal.
I see. Emmanuel, yeah, says Everton do not have a chance. I guess it won't be a zero thing. I'm sure they'll have a chance. It's been very small.
Oh yeah, they'll definitely have a chance more than Burnley against Liverpool.
Okay.
They'll definitely have
so
a
they
chance.
Stand a better chance.
Yeah, they stand a better chance.
Great. So Emmanuel, if you were Sean Dyche and you were going into this game, how would you prepare for it? What would you do to keep yourself in this game for as long as possible and maybe cause an upset? Just maybe.
Yeah, I think the last meeting between the two, I think the first 20-25 minutes was quite, it gave us like an idea of how Everton actually wanted to approach that game. And fortunately for them, they were able to get a goal, but then they were not able to like contain City and the quality in the City side. For one, I feel that it will be obviously difficult for them to get something out of it. But then coming up against the City side, that has more or less like been able to keep only like 3 or 4 clean sheets this season. They've actually been like conceding away from. They've been conceding for some time now, and they've not really been able to like crack it in terms of like how do you call it? Keeping teams at bay when they come up against them. Like the defense is not really clicking as we saw last season, right? I feel maybe if they are daring enough, if Everton are daring enough, they could actually probably get a goal out of it. I don't know. Winning wouldn't be possible. I mean, City have like almost every player back now. They don't have any injury issues. Haaland is back. They have on the bench. They have Nunes and Co. I mean, they have all the usual guns in their side. And I feel that having the personnel and then coming up against a struggling Evertonian Everton side. Sorry. It will be quite challenging to try to get something out of it. Everton have not really been able to like pull their weight at the turn of the year. They've only managed a single win in their last 6 games. They've lost 4 and then they've only drawn 1. Unlike when the season started and even when they were deducted the point, you saw that they were trying to make up for it. They were fighting for wins. They might even go behind and then they will get a last minute winner or they will just get an equalizer and then snatch a point and all that. But I think in recent weeks, we are not really seeing that Everton, And I fear for them because if you don't really try to get the points this time around, get into the latter part of the season, you might end up finding yourself in a very uncomfortable position. So against City, I think what they can do differently is that maybe they can look at the templates that they used for the first 20-30 minutes of the game against City the last time. And also even build on the draw against Tottenham last week, That should be enough confidence booster for them, and then they can try to capitalize on that and get something out of the game. All
right, we'll see how it plays out between Manchester City and Everton. But I think it makes sense if we see Manchester City's last performance in the league. It was away at Brentford. It was on the road as they managed to get a 3-1 win at Brentford. All right, so it was Phil Foden magic that helped Manchester City beat Brentford 3-1 on the road. So Manchester City's last outing in the league was that particular result. Let's move on to the Midlands now, where Aston Villa take on Manchester United. Villa lost the first leg of this encounter by 3-2. One of the most interesting games Man United played this season. This was late last year in December. United managed to turn it around. I think it was on Boxing Day to win that game by 3-2. But United go to a ground where they lost last season by 3-1. And it was after that loss that they started figuring out themselves. It was Cristiano Ronaldo's last appearance for Manchester United in terms of playing minutes or games. So that's a bit of a historical signpost. Let's see Manchester United's last performance in the league. It was at home to West Ham. And when we are done, I'll take thoughts from the guys who are with me in studio. Garnacho double helping Manchester United to beat West Ham by 3-0. This weekend, they are not at home. They travel away to Aston Villa, who themselves lost 3-1 to Chelsea in the FA Cup 4th round. So they will be itching to get something from that game against Manchester United. Emmanuel, let me start off with you. It's Villa have experienced a few slips here and there, the latest being the 3-1 loss at home to Chelsea in the FA Cup round 4 replay. Surely they will be pumped to take on Manchester United this weekend. Absolutely.
I think for Unai Emery, I mean, it's fair to say that he has pretty much overachieved, because starting out the season, I think the objective for him would have been to get a European place, be it Europa League or Conference League. I think they would have been okay with that. But I think they made a lot of brilliant signings. They have had a very good run as well. They've been able to get wins here and there, been able to trample over some of the big boys and all that. But I think in recent weeks too, they've more or less found themselves wanting on different fronts. I think they lost just about 2 players to the AFCON, right? Kudus and then Aguerd. And they've returned. Kudus is actually West Ham. Sorry. Yeah. Aguerd, and then there's another guy. About 2 of them. They lost those 2 guys, and then now they are back in the side. And I think they would be able to change things for them. I also feel that for Aston Villa, what I've really been able to favor them at getting to the mid part of the season, getting to the second round, is the fact that, unlike at the beginning where they were a bit exposed defensively, now they've been able to carve out a different plan where they're able to contain teams, and they are not teams who play with a transition and then counter-attack and all that, are not able to punish them more. So I think they can capitalize on that and then try to see whether they'll be able to keep Højlund, who is pretty much in form at bay, and then Garnacho, who is also operating very well on the right side, also at bay. So I feel all in all, their recent record against United should be enough to guide them. It should be enough to put them in a position where they will be able to get the result. Because United away, mostly they struggle. They don't really get it right, more often than not, especially against the top 6, top 8 clubs, And maybe that's something that they can work around, and then they will see whether or not they can be able to snatch the win this time around.
Yeah, the last time we saw United on the road was
that
crazy episode at Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Wolverhampton.
I don't think they want to get themselves involved in another one.
Yes, but can they stop themselves from being who they are? That's the thing, because even that game, once you watched United take a 2-0 goal lead with McTominay getting that 3rd goal to give Man United a 3-1 lead, you could still feel some uneasiness around that Man United team that whenever they got the ball, they were so quickly in a hurry to just let it go. And in that hastiness led to loss in possession, loss in positional discipline, and it just made everything just messy. And those sloppiness and messiness led to the goals that Wolverhampton Wanderers scored late, and they had to rely on Kobe Menu to pull out some magic trick from nowhere, out of nowhere. He delivered that spectacular goal, and so it makes it very difficult to call for a Man United win. But at this point in time, looking at how Aston Villa's confidence has taken a hit and is shaking up, I think I'll go in for a Man United tough, slight win for the Red Devils. I think it will be tough. It wouldn't be a big win for Man United, but I see a win.
So, tactically, how should the manager approach that? I ask that because we've seen teams go to Villa, some play on the break. I think Newcastle, we saw them winning at Villa very comfortably. Yeah. I don't know, Chelsea 2-1 in the FA Cup. And a few other teams have gone to Villa Park to give them problems.
Yeah.
Well, Man United haven't done that in a while. So if you're Erik ten Hag, how would you shape up the team? What kind of instructions will you give if Man United has to survive?
Well, defensively, they are going to be without Lisandro Martinez. Mm-hmm. So what that means is playing with a high line is a no-no because they will have to rely on Harry Maguire and Rafael Varane. And Diego Dalot is going to, positional-wise, his position is always questionable in terms defensively, especially defensively. So playing the high line is a no-no. I think they should try as much as possible to press from the middle, establish a mid-block to deal with Aston Villa in the middle. Try as much as possible to deal with Aston Villa in the middle. It's going to be a tough ask because they are very physical, they are very energetic, and they are very athletic. You look at Boubacar Kamara, you look at Douglas Luiz. It's very difficult to contain those players. Then you throw in McGinn too. So Man United will need
Oli Watkins.
Oli Watkins is a bit outfield,
yes.
and so but Man United needs to contain
the midfield.
They need to contain them in that mid zone. And so honestly, Erik ten Hag should start with a 3-man midfield.
Okay.
He should start with 3 men in the midfield, and I push.
Who would you go with?
Yeah, I would go with Casemiro, Kobbie Mainoo at this point in time, and add Scott McTominay.
I see.
And add Scott McTominay, because if you put in Bruno Fernandes there, you're going to lack a bit of a bite in that midfield, and that is going to be a problem. And so push Bruno Fernandes upfield. I know it's going to be a tough ask. Push him upfield. Then you have to sacrifice Garnacho. Either Garnacho or Marcus Rashford. But I'll sacrifice Garnacho because of the speed of Marcus Rashford. Because Aston Villa will always play with a high line. And once you have Rasmus Højlund in good form and you have the speed of Rashford also in play, yes, that gives you an edge. That gives you the right tools or materials to punish Aston Villa when they deploy their high press or play a very high line. Because Højlund, he's a big body, he's strong, he can hold up the ball and play Rashford through on goal. Then he can use his speed to beat the Aston Villa defense. So it's going to be a tough ask. Do you start Scott McTominay in midfield and sacrifice Garnacho, or are you so confident in your team that you still roll out with Casemiro and Kobbie Mainoo as the base of your midfield and have Garnacho and Bruno Fernandes in that starting lineup? That's going to be the tough ask. But if I were to be, if I was Erik ten Hag, I'll drop Garnacho and go with a two-man unit up top. Then have Bruno Fernandes playing behind them in front of a 3-man midfield of Casemiro, Kobbie Mainoo, and Scott McTominay.
Emmanuel, just in a few seconds, we need to go for a break. On the other hand, Unai Emery, the high line, it can be very suicidal. You look at Man United, they love to play on the counter. Should Unai Emery still stick to it or modify it slightly, because the last few games at home have not gone too well and he would want a response?
Yeah, I don't really think a lot of tweaks will be necessary against United. I believe in as much as Man U has a lot of players to hit you on in the transition, if Aston Villa is to go into the game with the same plan as they normally do, I mean, how they were able to beat them even in the first round, I think they should be able to get the results against United. I think even against a side where normally Martinez actually gives them some level of stability at the back, right? But then for Varane, he's getting old, right? He's a bit shaky from some time to time, and then Maguire as well. I think Maguire has held his own. Yes, he has really impressed this season and all. But I feel that Villa should just stick to the memo. They shouldn't really tweak a lot of things. The high line, I think it will pay off because they can really force United to make a lot of errors. Okay. And we've seen it in a lot of away games that United has played in. Most of the goals that they've given away, they are more often than not things that they are just supposed to deal with them defensively. But then they find a way to just shoot themselves in the foot. So I feel that if they are able to pin them in their half, if they are able to push their runners, Diaby and Co. to put them behind the ball and all that, they should be able to get something out of this game.
Okay, we'll see. It's a big one at Villa Park. It's Aston Villa versus Manchester United, and it's happening on Sunday. We'll take a very quick break. This is the Premier League preview show on Citi TV. My name is Nathan Kwame. My guest Emmanuel Buduano and Yao Eje Minta. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome to the debate on the Premier League preview show. Today we are asking, where are Chelsea with their project under Todd Boehly? Where are they? So we're asking, in terms of their evolution, where are they now? Where are they now in terms of the project under Todd Boehly? Todd Boehly took over a few years ago, spent money, lots of money on players like Enzo Fernandez, Moises Caicedo, and a host of other players who were signed to Chelsea. So we're asking, where exactly are they now? The context is from Wednesday night when Chelsea played, or Tuesday night or so, when they played the FA Cup Round 4 replay at Villa Park. They won 3-1, and after the encounter, Mauricio Pochettino spoke about this Chelsea team, the fact that they were young, and the fact that people were comparing them to the Chelsea team of 20 years ago. And he says that, no, they are not the same team. People need to be patient with this particular Chelsea side. Let's listen to Mauricio Pochettino, just for context sake, and then when we come back, we'll debate his points. Mauricio Pochettino, Chelsea manager, speaking there. So he says we should stop comparing this Chelsea team to the Chelsea team of 20 years ago, and that this is a project. So that's why I asked the question, where are they now?
Yeah, and I perfectly agree with Mauricio Pochettino that we should stop comparing this Chelsea team with that Chelsea team of 20 years ago.
Okay.
Because look at the profile of players that Chelsea signed when Roman Abramovich took over. And look at the players that Chelsea have signed since Todd Boehly took over. They are completely different players because these players are young players who are regarded as the next big things in their respective positions. But 20 years ago, Chelsea signed Drogba at a time where Drogba was practically already made as a striker. They signed guys like Arjen Robben. They signed top-level guys, Shevchenko, Hernan Crespo, I think Duff, Damien Duff. All of these players, they came in, they were ripe. Ricardo Carvalho had won a Champions League already with FC Porto. But you look at these players, I mean, Enzo Fernandez, how many years had he played European football before he moved to Chelsea? He had played a year and a half with Benfica. How many years had Caicedo played European football before he moved to Chelsea? And look at him as a player. Caicedo is still fleshing out his game. There are still parts of his game that needs a bit fine-tuning. Don't even get me started about Noni Madueke and Mikhailo Mudryk. Those players, they are far from finished product. So it will definitely take time. And that's why, for me, they are still in phase one.
They're still in phase one?
Yes, the Chelsea project is still in phase one because the initial start hit a bit of a snag when they appointed Graham Potter. And he looked to be overwhelmed. I think the size of the project, the magnitude of the project overwhelmed him. Then they had to backtrack. They brought in Frank Lampard. It didn't work. Then they made the right move by bringing in Pochettino. Now they're on the right track because at the end of the day, you've made it to the FA Cup. I think fifth round. You are in the Carabao Cup final. Let's say they win the Carabao Cup final. Let's say they make it to the FA Cup final and maybe not win it, or even they go ahead and they win it. That's a double. For a team that has these many youngsters, that's okay. A very good start. That's a brilliant start.
But you said they are in phase one.
They are in phase one because
there
was a bit of a snag initially.
I still think they are far off where they are supposed to be. For one, I really don't believe that. I mean, looking at the standards at Chelsea, right? It's fair that people would actually try to compare the team with the team of old, like those in 20 years ago, 15 years, 10 years ago. I feel it's because of where, or like the potential, or like the level even people actually hold Chelsea to, the standard that has been set, right? And I think for a club like Chelsea, right, what is happening there is pretty much akin to what is happening at United as well, because both of them, you see, there's a striking similarity between what is. I feel that Chelsea, first of all, need to get it right with the identity. That's number one. Because right now, you look at the Chelsea side, who are they? Like, who look at them. Who are they? You understand? Right from that, and then you now go down to the personnel that they have available. Did they buy the players because they were available in the market and then they feel they have like qualities that can play for Chelsea, or they bought them for a project? All those things have to be taken into consideration before like some of the purchases are made. You can't tell me you bought a player because you feel, yeah, he's good. I mean, Modric was basically tearing up the Ukraine, like the league there. And he was also performing in the Champions League and all that when he was bought. But he came here and then he's still struggling to find his feet. You find somebody like Enzo, who was really balling at Benfica, who was exceptional for Argentina at the World Cup. But then now he's also like struggling to get things to click for him. Pochettino, I also think that maybe, just maybe, if they change the manager, things might change, like turn in the right direction. Because I feel that, I don't know what is happening to Pochettino, but I mean, I don't think he's the man to lead Chelsea to wherever they want to go. That is what I believe. Okay. That people need a new manager in there with a different approach, and then somebody with a different like outlook on where Chelsea can be. And I also feel that it's about time they just stop buying players for the sake of buying them. Buy them for a particular project. You just look at what Citi is doing, Pep is doing at Citi. He buys the players because they fit a particular profile. They are come to solve a particular problem in the side, you know. But then you don't find out with Chelsea. Like, the players are just all over the place. Even this winter transfer window, they sold, they allowed Armando Broja to go on. Yes, they didn't even find a replacement, you know. Okay. In the middle of the season, you are more or less like 15 points behind the person in fourth. You are 11th on the table, and you make some of these decisions. So all these things just put them in the wrong light. And I feel for them to be able to hit their stride, I feel first they have to fix the issue with their identity. They also have to try to improve their club culture. All those things are not really clicking for them. And for the project, they are really, really far behind where they are supposed to be. Honestly. All
right. I mean, Chelsea fans, I'm sure you can continue the debate wherever you are and ask yourself, where are we being Chelsea fans who are out there? It says, where is the team in terms of the project and that's what Bully. We wait to see how it will all end this season. But that's our Premier League preview show for today. Let me thank my guests, Yao Mensah and Emmanuel Budua. Thank you for watching. My name is Nathan Kwa. Many thanks to Robbie Lau and Cecil from AFTV. They joined us earlier. And to you out there, thank you for watching. We'll catch you next Friday with another exciting episode of the Premier League preview show. Until then, take care and enjoy your weekend.